Okay, right, Doug, where do you want Rhiannon?
Starting off the news this week, it's a catch-up with the Chandrayaan-3 lunar rover, which has had an eventful first week in action. One successful task has been the measurement of the composition of the moon's surface where it has landed, a task that will be a very important aspect of its primary mission, the detection of solid water around the South Pole area of the moon. While hydrogen was not detected, oxygen, as well as sulfur, aluminium, titanium and more, was. As it navigates around this previously unexplored and particularly hazardous area of the moon, the rover is likely to come across many obstacles. One such challenge it has already faced is a 4-metre crater that necessitated a change in course, which had to go back on itself. Some very interesting temperature readings were also released on X, showing that while the temperature on the very surface reached up to 60 degrees centigrade, it dropped to -10 only 80 millimetres below the surface. Some very interesting readings from the rover's first week on the moon then, and a promising and exciting future ahead. And in other news, NASA, ESA and CSA have collectively published a paper detailing a series of observations collectively called FEAST. One such observation is the Messier 51 spiral galaxy, sometimes known as the Whirlpool Galaxy. This intergalactic neighbour of ours resides around 27 million light-years away in the Canes Venatici and is 77,000 light-years in diameter. It can actually be observed from Earth with a commercial telescope, but you probably won't quite get the same fantastic image that the JWST has blessed us with this week. Other than being a fantastic image, the Messier 51 galaxy has a particular importance because of its believed effect on a nearby dwarf galaxy called NGC 5195. This interaction may be creating a new star formation, and watching how other galaxies interact will help astronomers gain massive insights into how our universe works on a number of levels, as well as helping us become more able to both trace back the past and predict the future of our universe. Interactions between cosmic objects outside our solar system was exactly the objective of FEAST, and so the observation of one of the most famous examples is an understandable and yet still exciting choice. And now over to Ben, with some exciting news about forests.
Thanks, Doug. Now, after talking about the tragic death of Tokate last week, my mum, who wrote the segment, was contacted by a viewer asking if we could spread the word about a campaign called Biden Breach Now, which is a campaign to breach the 4 dams along the lower Snake River. Tokate's family are one of the pods that make up the critically endangered southern resident orcas. One of the issues they face is a lack of their food, Chinook salmon, which are also endangered. The salmon have dramatically decreased in numbers due to dams being built along rivers which lead to their spawning grounds, which makes it very difficult for them to reach these vital areas. Today, only about 1% of the historical number of salmon return to the Snake River watershed to spawn, and urgent action is needed to save the salmon. You can leave a comment urging President Biden to take action, but you only have until the 31st of August before it closes. Biden has the authority to start the breaching now if only we make him listen. If you go to the link given in the sources, you will find a website which guides you through the various options. Sending an email is very easy, you don't even have to type anything out as it has already been done for you. And today is the last chance to call the White House between 8 AM and 12 PM Pacific Standard Time. A volunteer will answer and ask for your comment, and you just tell them the Snake River dams need to be breached, and they say thank you and will pass your comment along. It's really simple to do. So please take action and share the link. Your comment could make the difference in not only saving the salmon, but also the southern resident orcas. And thank you to Emma for reaching out about this. First up in the paleontology news for this week is a new study re-examining a bizarre kind of Cambrian arthropod. Named Kylinxia zhangi, yeah, we'll go with that. This species was actually first described in 2020 based on 518 million-year-old fossils found in southern China, and was about the size of a big shrimp. Kylinxia has been found to be in a very important evolutionary position among its arthropod relatives, branching off after the radiodonts, including Anomalocaris and others, and before Megachira, also called the great appendage arthropods. Therefore, Kylinxia has been interpreted by paleontologists as a sort of intermediate form bridging the gap between these stem groups of arthropods. Although it was originally thought to have possessed 5 eyes, newly uncovered fossils and improved CT scans of them have revealed that actually Kylinxia had 2 smaller lateral eyes and a huge middle eye, so only 3 in total. It also turns out that the head is composed of 6 segments, as in a lot of living arthropods, and not only did it have a pair of large appendages at the front for processing prey, but the new study reveals 2 more pairs of legs that actually hadn't been seen before. So this species shows that the 6-segmented head structure actually appeared in arthropods over 500 million years ago, and it also demonstrates the usefulness of applying techniques such as CT scanning to fossils to reveal more data. Also in the paleontology news for this week is the naming of a new species of fossil ape found in Türkiye. The paper explains that a series of fossil apes known from the eastern Mediterranean area are very significant in working out the origins of African apes, including humans, and that there is currently a debate over whether they should be placed within the more inclusive hominines, the less inclusive hominins, or even as stem hominids. Well, this new analysis names Anomalocaris turkey, an 8.7 million year old ape that shows these Mediterranean species were quite diverse and are actually part of the earliest known radiation of the hominine lineage, a radiation so far only found in Europe and Anatolia. The study therefore suggests that either the hominines originated in Eurasia before spreading into Africa where the hominins then originated, eventually giving rise to our own species in Africa, or the older Eurasian hominines may have come from an even more ancient African dispersal. Of course, I'm anticipating some comments from those weirdos who are going to say this supports a non-African origin for humans, a surprisingly pervasive bit of pseudoscientific nonsense, but no, that shows a complete misunderstanding of this research and also, the human fossil record as a whole. While hominines may have originated in Eurasia in the Miocene, the lineage of hominins leading to modern humans originated later, on the African continent. So a very intriguing discovery, showing that there was a surprising diversity of ancient apes in the eastern Mediterranean region at this time, that had already undergone a significant evolutionary radiation. Also in the news, 2 new and very important theropod dinosaur bones have been described from the very latest Cretaceous of Morocco. Coming from the phosphate mines that dig into rocks dating to the very end of the final stage of the Cretaceous period, both of these bones seem to belong to new species of abelisaurids, the group of theropods famously including Carnotaurus, Majungasaurus, Abelisaurus itself, and many others. Though they are not named in this paper due to the incompleteness of the bones, one of them, a tibia, seems to be from an approximately 5 meter or about 16 foot long individual that displays many similarities to abelisaurs known from South America. The other one, a small foot bone, probably belonged to a much smaller abelisaur, estimated at around 2.6 meters or 8.5 feet long. This bone shows some characteristics that are different to most other known latest Cretaceous abelisaurids, again suggesting that this is something new. One other named abelisaur is already known from the latest Cretaceous of Morocco, Chenanisaurus, so these new discoveries suggest that at least 3 different species of these dinosaurs existed around this time, and therefore the dinosaur fauna of this region was very diverse and quite distinct from other Gondwanan landmasses. That's it from me for this week, back to Doug in the studio.
Thank you, Ben. Well, that's it for this week's 7 Days of Science. I do hope you enjoyed, and as always, we'll see you on Sunday.